original name of Ishmael. Ishmael is the son of Hagar, or was the son of Hagar, from Abraham. Let us put it in that way. From Abraham. Ishmael is the son of Hagar, which is the wife, second wife of Abraham. And Islam today use this deceptive ideology of religion to make sure that they force everybody into doing the wrong thing. You put Islam, you put Christianity, which are what you call monotheistic religion. They are the people that brought religion, contemporarily speaking, starting from the time of Emperor Titus, the first 100 years after the death of Christ. Brothers and sisters and lovers of freedom, I don't want to take it too long. I want our people to know that nobody is coming to save us. So it is we that are saving ourselves. So stop condemning your forefathers. That your forefathers used to kill twins. Ogunigwe kills twins, father of twins and mother of twins. But your reverend father and your pastor cannot condemn the white man that created fighter jet. They are even the one you call hypersonic and supersonic. There is even the one you call the IBM. There is even the one that they baptized in the name of Hiroshima. That Hiroshima is called IBM, Intercontinental Ballistic Missile. That is what you call it. There is one you call the Batteria. There is the one you call the robot. All these things kill twins. But our brothers are being conditioned to be condemning our own. That's why you see many people not understanding that the first thing they need to do is to support this freedom by funding, so that we have our government fully sovereign. We have our sovereignty. But they're following pastor. Pastor is saying, come to me. I'll give you olive oil. I will give you water seraphic. I will give you this and give you that. But that pastor cannot see the menace of the Fulani marauders and killers. It doesn't fight against Fulanis. Open your cerebrum, open your brain as I'm talking now, if you can permit me. See that your pastor does not fight against Islamic people upon the fact that the world are decimating the radical Islamists, no Seketerima. Your pastor sees his fellow brother or sister, that is a kind of enemy, which is very wrong. And at the same time, that their character corresponds to the Taqiya et Mujahideen system that they introduce in order to weigh our people down. I want our brothers and sisters to know that UN, EU, African Union, as they are waiting to hear the language, we will give them the best language, the language of freedom, the language of the autonomy of the people, which is enshrined under the UN Charter, Article 1, Paragraph 2, and Article 21 of African Union Charter, self-determination of the people. God bless you in secularum as I yield my mic. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. David, are you there? Okay. Thank you, Professor Emeritus. We are very lucky to have you as a Biafra and as one of the ministers, especially in the defense. Thank you. With you, the Biafra fortified defense line is safe. Understand? We are so happy. I don't know. So Biafrans, I will start with Sir Williams if you have anything, and I will call upon those that want to make a submission. You do that by raising up your hands. This is for us. The government is for us all. This is exactly where we are going to practice a pure democracy. democracy that is constitutional, constitution written, respect to the will of the people, unlike the one that is in the zoo. They wrote it at your back. Nobody knows what is there. In our government and the Biafra government, before everything will be passed, you'll be consulted. Every citizen will have a say to the law, and every law must be beneficial to the citizens. 100%. So that is what it is. So, Sir Williams, please, sir. Biafrans, I'll wait your submission. Take up the mic from your brother.
Thank you, my brother. May Chukwu Kabiama continue to bless and strengthen you for what you are doing. He said, also great Doc Mazenana for what he's doing, and all the soldiers here, because we are not ordinary people, we are all soldiers. When I mean soldiers, the angels of God, you know, we have those in the bush defending our land, and we are the greatest of them all gathered here. We are all soldiers. I'm privileged to, you know, be in the meeting with our professor here. It's a symbol of knowledge, and I quite appreciate him so much. And all of us here gathered are the angels of God. You know, most of us have been to this world more than 2 times, and we continue to reincarnate. The above subject matter refers these charlatans, criminals that have gone on a series of name change. These are enablers of slavery. Is it UN? You know what Fela said about them? None of them is united. They're only united in criminality, to kill and steal and maim the indigenous people, to take what belongs to them by force, and then turn around to give them peanut as in AIDS. Whereas these people we are the one feeding them. Is it the AU? Their name continues to change, you know, from one name to the other. All of them, because they are unstable. They are just as unstable as water, floating water. That's why they keep on changing their names. When did they change their names last? They are the attack dogs or the watchdogs of the slave colonial terrorists in our midst. Is it there? If you have been opportunity to, you know, meet some of those that work with ECOWAS in Abuja here, they are all criminals. They always receive stipends from Germany. Euro. Is it euro? What do they call their money? Euro, you know, for shenanigans, you know, flying around. That is what they give them money, just to monitor what is happening in our land. These people are not the ones we are waiting for our freedom, because the freedom we are looking for is not the one anybody can give to us. This is the freedom that God has already given to us. It's just for us to, you know, assume it and take it and then stand on it. Although we're already in Biafra, I keep on saying this. We're already in Biafra. What we are waiting for the government of Biafra to do is for the celebration, which will commence from 2nd of December. It's only celebration. We are not doing anything new. It's celebration, and when we will dance in the street naked. The protest they have organized, you know, the terrorist government organized a protest and brought out 6 billion on record. The ones out of record is not known. We all know when Gumi, the criminal terrorist, said that he is going to participate in the protest. And then they turn around and say that we organize a protest and then we run inside our houses. I look at them and laughed. I don't know if I'm the only one that remembered when our prime minister, you know, spiritually made a statement. Maybe the prime minister must have forgotten when he said it, but we don't forget things. Me particularly, I don't forget when you say something. In the peak of the election, when we are telling them about evil of Nigeria and how they fish our prime minister and one of the brokers said that we are going to drag them to the street. I copied it and I stamped it. Maybe he has forgotten. But that street, They are coming out now to kill themselves and then burn themselves down. It is by the action we are taking and by what we are doing here that we are dragging them to the sea. They are running mad. They all one base. They cook up for Afonjas. They are running mad because they cannot comprehend what is hitting them. See, what we are doing is a spiritual thing. God in his, Elohim, Chukwu Okike Abịama, in his infinite mercy and omnipotent and omnipresent, gave us two of his sons, These sons came in a person of Mazen and the Kala and our prime minister. The work they are doing is not a work of man. They are doing the work of God, Elohim Chukwu Okike Abịama. And whenever they make utterances or make statements, that statement, instead of it not to come to pass, the heaven and earth will cease to exist. Our prime minister said last month that we are going to experience a wonderful month. And behold, even though people were not seeing what was going on, all of a sudden, those that feel that they are colossus, started falling down. The pig, Iwanyan, fell down, and the second also fell down. And these are pronouncements made by a child of God, without having anybody in mind. But God put it in his mouth to say it, and he said it, and things happen. Things must happen for the word of God to be fruitful. Yes. You see, what we are doing is a spiritual thing. These people we are up to, those that are captioned above, they are our perennial enemies. Yes. You see, the Janjaweed, they value their animals more than their children. So even if you kill them, they prefer to die than their cow and cattle to be killed. And we are not in sine qua non with them. They are on their own. We are on our own. Before the British criminals, vandals came and say, you. Now you are inside one basket. Oh yeah, you are now nigger zoo jungle. That is the name they gave to them. And they are claiming that they prefer a name given to them by a Caucasian, a drunk, which is concubine, Flora Shaw. And they are calling themselves proud jungle men. You see, when I hear they say they are proud, I say these are proud animals. What are we talking about? OBJ created their Sharia, through their British and European criminals. He created Sharia in a country they have told us that it's a secular country. This man came after they have packaged their declaration of Abuja 89 and then put it in a document, a paper, and then from backyard they brought Obasanjo and then used Obasanjo to cement a criminal document. You can imagine. When we asked Obasanjo, why are you here? And these people are declaring the North as a Islamic state. He said that one is their business. When they are tired, they will stop. That it doesn't affect the South. But all of us are here that a son of God was arrested in the South and brought to the North for Sharia trial. And we kept quiet. When they set him on bail, they followed him to his house to kill him. And we kept quiet. And they think that we are happy people. No, we are not happy people. Me, myself, I'm not happy. And then they went again to Kenya, all the way to Kenya, to kidnap this son of God and keep him in their dungeon. But
my brother, please,
conversely,
please, can you hold your line of thought? I want us to put a light here, if you will permit me. There is something very important. There is
go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir. I'm prone to learn, sir.
Just hold your line of thought. Just hold that.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
trying to add to what you're saying because this is very important.
Go ahead,
now,
sir.
you said two things. One was the Abuja Declaration. Then the other point is the invasion of the house of His Excellency Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Okay.
Yes.
The point that I want to put is that these two things were illegal in Nigeria, under Nigerian state, and under any constitution of Nigeria. Both were very, very illegal because
Very correct.
the Abuja Declaration, it was IOU, meaning
OIC.
I'm coming. Yeah. OIC. Yes.
Okay.
OIC. Thank you for the correction. OIC means Organization for Islamic Cooperation. Right? Am I right? Okay. So
yes.
yeah,
Country.
we have to make our people to understand, because at times when you touch vital things like this, you jump and go ahead. People cannot digress. So OIC, Organization of Islamic Cooperation or Islamic Countries, they brought that at the back door without consulting the Nigerians, at the difference of what happened in the First Republic, right? In
Yes,
the
sir.
First Republic,
Yes, sir.
there was something they called plebiscite, which means giving the people right to decide whether they will be part of Nigeria or not. Particularly,
Very well, sir.
Adamawa was part of Northern Cameroon, right or wrong?
Very correct, sir.
Then the Ambazonia, the present Ambazonia, which is Southern Cameroon, opted out from Nigeria. Southern Cameroon was part of Nigeria in the First Republic.
They are our brothers. Yes.
So, but through a plebiscite that was conducted, the duo decided to belong or to opt out, which is in the Constitution of the United Nations and every advanced nations. But the Abuja Declaration 1989 moved or cancelled the clause of referendum, or what you call the plebiscite. Did people knew or know today, currently speaking? You know why I call people Indomie generation? It's not to castigate people. The graduates. Well, at times I say that they graduated in packet of condom and Indomie. It is not to castigate them, but it's for them to know that when they remove your history from your curriculum, it means that they want you to be an educated imbecile. That is the meaning of that. Educated people supposed to be at the forefront in this affrontation of Biafran restoration, or the restoration of Africa, or what you call African Renaissance or emancipation. But educated people are graduated only in carrying bags for the inocua, or what you call the corrupt political na. That is point one. Point two is particularly to the second violation, what they did to the place of Nnamdi Kanu EFIK-IBIBIO in the Aba state, currently Abia state, former. Nnamdi Kanu in 2017, meaning 2017, was enjoying his bail condition. The same government sent the military to go and keep him. That is the violation of the Constitution of the Federal of Nigeria. And according to tort law, if somebody comes to kill you, you have to defend yourself. You have to scamper for your safety. We will teach the lawyers and the judges what you call jurisprudence and the basic nominae, the base of law, what you call the Magna Charta, the ground norm.
Yes, we call it conflict of laws. Yes.
So Nnamdi Kanu has never violated anything, but it is the Nigeria that violated both the Abuja Declaration and the Operation Python Dance, which sent the soldiers to go and search and to kill people of Nnamdi Kanu, including him and his dog. So they are practically errata, what you call condemned before the jurisprudence. God bless you. Continue.
Thank you, sir. You are the symbol of knowledge, and I'm happy to learn from you. You see, most of us that have attended the schools in the zoo, we went extra mile to get to know what we know today. And most of this knowledge is gotten from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa. Otherwise, we were miseducated. Let me put it that way. Now, let me continue with what I was saying. Obasanjo as a criminal, you know, as his MI6, yes, created Sharia law in Nigeria, which now necessitated we, the Biafrans, being tried in a Sharia law. Abuja is a Sharia state. If you doubt what I'm saying, go to all these upper area courts here. What they do is pure Sharia laws. Even when we defend people there, we defend them on Sharia law issues. So how can they now come and say that we are Islamic nation? The affront that the British, exacerbated last time by the former prime minister, telling the whole world that Nigeria is now an Islamic state. That is why I'm angry about these criminals that call themselves pastors. You see, those people are avaricious, They are avaricious men, yes. People that propagate heaven, but they don't want to die and go to heaven. Remember during Yaradua, Oyedepo, Adebiyoya, all of them went to see if Yaradua was alive. They came out, they couldn't tell the country that Yaradua was dead. What did Oyedepo say? He came out and said, Nigeria is in the hand of God. I mean, zoo is in the hand of God. Is it what a person that called himself a man of God should tell his followers? It's a deceit, takia, and it doesn't work with us. So these people, it's only God. They will reap what they sow on this earth. They will come and tell people different kinds of stories to pay tithes. That is their hallmark. That is their takia. Money, 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 money. They want money to buy private jet and do all those things. They are never prone to say truth. They can never say truth, just like the way we are saying it here. Even though most of us don't have any cover in our pocket, but we believe that Biafra is here. And we have seen it in spirit, and we have seen it in physical, manifest by the action we are taking, the action the government is taking. We are the government, because no government functions without the citizens. So all of us are the government of Biafra. I say it, yes, with all sense of humility. We are all government officials here, gathered here on daily basis. So UK has been destroyed, just like our leader said. Instead of Biafra not to come, for meddling in issues of Biafra, Britain must go down. And they are not having fun in their nation now. Those of you that are living in UK, they know you know what is going on. You cannot see it in Sky News or CNN or what do they call their news media. Don't even care to know. They can never see it, but we see it on daily basis. What is happening there? How they are being burnt to ashes in their country, everywhere in flames. Biafra is already here, because if they are the witch or the bitch that sat on top of us for so many years died recently. So who is that will stop the coming of the kingdom of God? That person has not been born yet. I yield my mic as I stay in abeyance. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. If the witch that stood in the gap between Biafra and Nigeria died, if the witch that bewitched Biafrans, when our message is brought to the international community, she will bewitch the news. Biafrans were in the dark for a very long time. Our news was supposed to go wide, but because the witch was still alive, They have to suppress every news that come out from Biafra land. The witch died. Who is it that can stand against the freedom of our people? Nobody. Minister Snow, is there anybody that can stand against our freedom? Go ahead, sir. You have the mic.
There's nobody that will be able to do that. But I think Biafra says was here before me, David. Because let Biafra says go, and I'll just go after. Well, I don't know if it's a man or a woman, so come here.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Biafra saves. Is there any force?
I can hear you, sir. Thank you.
Is there any force that can stand on the way of our freedom?
Of course not, sir. Of course not. Thank you for giving me the mic, Mr. Snow. And I want to, first of all, thank every government official of the Biafran government here. Salute to the honorable official from the MID, the Homeland Reports, Clara Deems, the co-host, and every other speaker and listener. Thank you all for having me. First of all, we have the topic of the EU, the UN, and the AU. Understanding that these organizations are not directly working for our freedom. And when we talk about they are not directly working for our freedom, I mean, they are not people who they want you to be free, right? They are only looking for opportunities to get in and be part of a profiting cause, right? So, which is what I've seen over the years about Biafra, which is why during the Biafran war with Nigeria, countries like France and United States, we are playing a double game. They didn't want to stand with Nigeria and they didn't want to stand with Biafra fully. And that's because they don't know the country that was going to win the war. They were seeing casualties on the Biafran side and they were seeing casualties on the Nigerian side. So they couldn't stand and say, okay, I want to stand, we stand with Biafra or we stand with Nigeria. So all these organizations are not after our betterment. They are just after the profit that we can bring to them. And I'm not saying that is wrong because everybody is after their own interest, which is part of humanity, of course. When we talk about the charters of the UN, the laws of the international laws, these things cannot be implemented if us as Biafrans do not stand up and say we are being marginalized or we are not being treated fairly in the first place. The UN, as we can see from what is happening with Israel and Hamas and Palestine and the Middle East, does not really have powers to forcefully execute things. The people who execute the laws of the UN are collaborated nations of the UN who may see profit in an emerging nation or may see profit in a conflict, which is what we see with the support of a lot of countries who may decide to stand with Israel or may decide to stand with the Palestine, Hamas. So we need to take this course up to a level where they see profit in Biafra land. And when I mean when they see profit, we are not opening up Biafra land for them to come and start sucking out resources just like they did and they are doing now in Nigeria. But we are trying to give them, provide a place where they see, provide a platter or a platform where they see that Biafra is really an imagination that is capable of bringing some certain profit to the West. And which is why I trust that Biafra can get there because we already have people, the Biafra has a single human being, at least, in every nation of the world, which is highest. I think I don't know any nation of the world that has people in every nation of the world. right? So we are not people who are certain, they want to make us a minority, but we are actually a majority. Because you have Biafrans in the US government, we have Biafrans in the UK government, we have Biafrans in the French government, we have Biafrans in Russia, we have Biafrans in Iran even, we have Biafrans in Israel, and countless other nations of power across the world. So Biafran nation, the Biafran nation emerging and becoming a sovereign nation is one thing that will be a change to Africa as a continent. Why? Because when Biafra rises, we will drag other nations up with us. Other nations that wish to be better. With what has happened, I want to make a statement firstly concerning the people of Port Harcourt, Port Harcourt state of Nigeria, who say they may not be Biafrans, right? And they say we are not Biafrans because look, their names, maybe their forefathers will give them some certain notion, their parents or their grandparents give them some certain notions that they are not Biafrans, or give them names like Emmanuel Favor, or they give them something like excuse me, some two English names with no local names in their names. And if you look at that, this was what the Britain successfully did to some of our people, which is why when we talk about the Biafran cause and we are bringing it up, some of us don't want to fully engage ourselves in it because we don't know if it's a cause that is achievable. But it's something that if you calm down, look at the preparations of not just the Biafran government in exile, but Biafrans all around the world, you understand that if we take this course to a level that Biafrans can trust the course enough, then we can be able to make Biafra a nation, number one. Number two, become as great as we should be. So I'm also encouraging everyone who has been standing on the line. There's one thing I always say to people who may want to join the cause, but they feel like, okay, well, I don't know if what happened in 1967 is going to happen again, so I don't want to fully involve myself so that I will not be attached to the bad things that will happen if there is a war. And what I say to them is, no one can stand on the fence. You're either in this side or you're in this side. Why? Because when you stand on the fence, you must be a little percentage into a side or the other. So you cannot fully stand at the middle as an individual. So is either you are
Can you hear him there, David?
The brother has spoken very, very well. I applaud him from here, from my own side. Maybe the network has kicked him down. Are you hearing what I'm saying, MID?
Yeah, I can hear what you're saying.
Yeah. I think it's the network. We can't hear him. We can't hear Biafra says anymore. Biafra say if you can hear us, Biafra say we can't hear you on the space anymore. So because your speaker is still on, it's as if it's frozen. Maybe you can just hang your speaker and come back and finish your submission, please. Yeah, he's going out now. I think he's heard us. He's going to reconnect. Yeah, so I hand over to my co-host.
I'm just coming, Sister Clara Dim. These are the kind of brain you need here. These are the kind of people you need here, because when you hear people speaking point to point, there was a time I wanted to stop him to analyze something, but I said, okay, let him flow. So it ended well because I wanted to say, okay, stop. You have you have said it all, because the last point was stay where you are. Either you are for Nigeria or you are for Biafra. That is the problem that I have with people. You cannot be rigmaroling. Stay in Biafra. Okay? In the NATO where I belong to, NATO, not Atlantic Treaty Organization, I made them to love Biafra. And they are ready to support us. The reason why the Italian Prime Minister lambasted the French President Emmanuel Macron was because of what we did in NATO. So it is either you are here or you are there. And stay in one place. Put that nyash in one place. Don't be rigmaroling. And the other brother spoke another language that I like too much. He said that the problem of our people is that they are avaricious. Etymologically, avaricious has to do with the character of people being gluttonic or being, power mongered or being monetary monger or being what you call food monger. So our people enter into the net by avaricious spirit, and it is not welcome. So if you are not avaricious, you have to stand one place, either A or B. That is my own. God bless you.
Think the space has ended. Okay. They have blocked them out. Okay, we'll have to end it.